Ustream, recording on your laptop.
Indeed.
All right, let's do a program. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Coming up on Roundabout, free smells coming to a used car near you. Well, maybe. I guess only if you live in Spain. One company has devised a killer way to convert pickup trucks into tanks, and what have our panelists been driving lately? We'll take a peek in the garage right after this. Roundabout is sponsored by Advance Auto Parts. Visit our website, roundaboutshow.com, to get up to $30 off your next purchase, and by everyone's favorite online store, Amazon.com.
Riding in my stallion, I'm Eric Tricco from RumbleStrip.net.
Waxing chumps like a candle, I'm Jeff Glucker from Hooniverse.com.
Sidestepping the tough issues, I'm your host, Craig Cole.
Disembarking from my waterlogged G8, I'm Ben Sanders. And
for the love of God, this is Roundabout.
Hello and welcome to Roundabout, episode 127. It's our weekly chat covering car culture, vehicle reviews, and most of the auto news that you missed.
We're blasting enemy podcasts out of the sky as they dive bomb our Roundabout aircraft carrier here. Anyway, greetings! We're glad you could join us again. Terrible analogy there.
Pretty much.
We're
getting into our Spitfires, getting ready to fight off the hordes of Huns.
The hordes of Nazis flying over London. Yes, Eric Tridco, RumbleStrip.net, joining us again in studio here.
Yes.
How have you been, Eric? How you feeling, girl?
Yeah, not bad.
Only not bad?
Yeah.
You've had a 6-month roundabout vacation, it seems like.
About 5 weeks. Close enough.
5 weeks, 22 hours, 14 minutes, 11, 12, 13 seconds. Glad you could join us, Eric.
Glad to be here.
I bet you are. We've traded in our one of our Jeffs, and we've got a lower mileage one now, Mr. Glucker.
Oh, how's it going, fellas?
Great. We're glad you could join us from California. That's Michelle.
It's always my pleasure to be here.
It's Michelle Naranjo country.
That's right. That's what they call it.
You're like neighbors with Ms. Motormouth, aren't you?
Yep, probably 15, 20 minutes away from her house right now.
Wow. That's as the crow flies.
Are you no closer because of that PPO?
I don't want to get closer because Long Beach is dangerous.
And
she has security horses protecting her.
Does she put a special horn on it, a unicorn spike?
saying nay to that idea.
Which borough do you reside in?
I'm in Huntington Beach, which is one of the many beaches in California. So the next town up, there's 2 towns between Michelle and I, but they're very small towns.
They're like the border countries in Europe that get overrun during the wars, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, except we get overrun in the summer with bros and
Douchebaggery.
Yeah, exactly. I'm in the capital of
douchebaggery.
Yes.
Well, Eric,
thankfully, ever since gas prices went up, all the big trucks and flat bills have kind of moved back inland, but there's still a little bit of that undercurrent swelling back up.
It's Jersey Shore West.
Is that what it's called? Well, it sounds you've really sold the region. I
I did.
To visit
I love it here.
Oh boy. Well, we've got a lot of great content to get through here. So
Liar.
as much as I like the small talk, and it is quite lovely, you're a charming gentleman, we should probably get to the news. And Eric, you've got a doozy of an article here.
Yep.
It's pretty freaking sweet.
It is very cool. Perhaps you have seen the conversions that allow you to replace the wheels and tires on your 4-wheel drive truck with tracks, sort of that make it look like or set up like a tank on each wheel. It works well in areas that are very muddy or have very rugged terrain. Setups like these are very popular in areas that do large surface mining operations or in ski resorts. And I actually have a friend of mine up in Chassel who builds these and sells quite a few of them. Anyways, the issue with these setups is that while they're not permanent, it's not very easy to switch them out if you want to go back to your standard setup. Mm-hmm. This new innovation that's coming from AD Bovin? Bovin?
Boivin? I don't know.
Boivin? Something like that.
Bovine.
Bovine, yes. Maybe the solution to end all of that. Now, rather than having to take your wheels and tires off, you literally, all you simply have to do is just drive onto the tracks with your front wheels and then back up in your rear wheels, and the tires actually drive the tracks so that you don't have to take that, and it's very simple to reverse it to come out. Very cool, very innovative idea. While still in the prototype stage, AD Boivin is looking to put them into production very quickly, at which time they'll be made available for full-size trucks from the big 2.5.
Big 2.5. I saw this video.
I don't know why that made you chuckle, but now it's making me laugh.
Something you'd like to share with the class?
No, I'm just gonna pull my mic away for a second.
No, these were awesome. I saw the video posted on Autoblog, and it's so sweet. You just drive on it, and the tire, like you said, Eric, actually powers this little tank tread. Mm-hmm. I've seen other conversions where you've got to tear the whole vehicle apart.
Yeah, you basically take
it
off and you bolt it onto the hub, and then the hub drives the tracks, which is what my friend builds and sells. But yeah, this solves so many problems, because if you just need to go somewhere for quickly, but then you want to use the vehicle elsewhere, you just release it and then you go.
One thing I noticed, because these tracks stick out a little bit watching the video, was that as the truck is driving, the tracks are kind of articulating. The front's going up and down. It looks like they come very close to hitting like the bumper or the bumper trim, because they do stick out further than the wheels would.
It does sound like these aren't going to be like a one setup fits all, that they'll probably have them for the different vehicles, maybe, or maybe they'll just set it up so there is enough. Assuming you have a 4-wheel drive vehicle, there's enough clearance for it anyway. So, but very cool. Like them.
Very neat. I wouldn't. Get a pair for your Mustang.
Yeah. Right. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
All right.
I say do it.
It would be kind of funny, but
the fronts wouldn't be doing anything.
Well, you wouldn't get a front ones, but it'd be great for driving into the winter, right?
Yes. Do that, Eric.
Especially with a locking rear differential.
All right, moving along. The great Craigslist posting or greatest Craigslist posting?
No question, the greatest Craigslist posting of all time, despite the subject matter, because we're talking about a man selling a 1995 Pontiac Grand Am, a teal Grand Am. It is a GT, but he put together an ad that makes you realize someone behind this has a marketing degree. They understand what's going on, because this is literally the best ad of all time, and I have seen it everywhere on the internet in the last 24 hours. They basically turned this ad into, it was almost like that website, The Oatmeal, in terms of a graphical piece that's very well done and just makes you laugh. And there's a little bit of self-depreciating humor in there, but basically at the same time, they're telling you that you're not a man if you can't handle this car, and it's really well done. And apparently the guy's been handling tons of emails and calls and stuff about the car, and he's wading through all the responses right now to see who's serious. This is literally the best Craigslist ad of all time, because most of the times you go to Craigslist and it's filled with I mean, if you're a fan of grammar at all, Craigslist makes you bleed tears of blood from every pore in your body.
On the opposite side, it's also hours and hours of comedy, free comedy.
It can be, but it's also tough if you're looking for. I want a new fuel gauge for my Civic, and to wade through that, I just have to wade through tons of spam. Someone put keyword fuel gauge for Civic, and it's for like wheels for a CRV. I don't want that. Or this guy got right to the point. He wants to sell his Pontiac Grand Am, and you have to be a man to handle it, and he's hitting the demo appropriately despite the color of the car and the car itself. This is just, you have to look at this image. It's the best ad of all time.
No calls, don't text me.
Serious offers only, guys.
Yes, exactly. So what has he got on this? He starts off, Jesus tap dancing Christ. Describe the ad to our viewers. It's very well done.
I think I see a violation of copyright law or previous artistry. That sort of looks like Autoline Daily kind of.
Oh, that's right.
Except they just changed the color.
Money. Oh, but we stole it from Techzilla. So
so the seller poses a couple questions and a couple hot points, hot button issues. One thing, every previous owner of this car has had a beard, which means they were all manly men. He also states that Pontiac, this was the pinnacle of their design, and after that they fell into deep depression, and that's the reason the company went under.
It's got a little crown too.
And then he has a quote from this is the quote: "There are 3 things I want in a guy: tall, dark, and drives an effing teal Grand Am." And the quote has been recorded by apparently every woman since the dawn of 1995.
Oh,
This ad is genius.
Jeff.
He even handily describes a problem with the car because it says the car chuckled at my failed attempt at manliness and became so bloated with testosterone that it literally blew a head gasket. Oh, I'm definitely going to have to fix that.
It's equipped. Look at this. Look at this. It's equipped with tires, doors, a steering wheel. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
This ad is just very, very well done. Especially, it's obviously there's humor there, but it's you got to hand it to the person. It's really well done, and I'd be shocked if they don't sell this car just for the sheer novelty alone.
And the funny thing is they have $199,999 crossed out, $700. What? Get the Josh Lewis sound drop.
What?
That's right. So if people want more, if they want to see this ad, if they want to check it out in person, where can they go?
Well, you can go to Hooniverse.com to see it because I think Craigslist actually flagged it.
Wrong answer. They can go to roundaboutshow.com and then link to
That's what I was going to say next, but I was taking a pause and a breath, but a very deep breath to say it deeply. Roundabout Show. See, I needed the gusto.
You need the vibrato or whatever, or phlegm in your chest.
I need to build it up.
Yes. No, this is epic. This is freaking hilarious. So, but is it as hilarious as our next story? Well, you, dear listeners, can be the jury, because cars are for roads, boats do the water thing, and planes rule the sky. You know, it's just the way God intended. But this next article is something you do not see every day, and we found it on Jalopnik. To promote last year's Slovak International Air Show in Slovakia, event planners parked a Russian MiG-29 fighter at a local mall. That would get my attention, but you simply cannot land a high-performance jet-powered fighter in front of a Macy's, especially one that's been decommissioned. Didn't have any wings on it. So how do you get an unflyable aircraft into an urban area? Well, you tow it. And that's just what they did. This photo accompanying the article makes it look like the plane is taxiing through downtown Bratislava. The tow vehicle is actually invisible. It's being blocked by the aircraft at the angle the picture was taken.
Photoshop.
Or Photoshop? Eric says it's a Photoshop. Are you calling BS on this, Eric?
Yes, Bravo Sierra.
I say BS, it's actually driving. That Mercedes is about to get roasted by those.
It's kicking the afterburners. So I saw this, give it a chuckle.
The highway is literally named the Danger Zone.
Next thing, there'll be a volleyball game with funnily oiled up, semi-homosexual, erotic. Never mind.
What?
Whoa.
Craig has never seen that movie. So.
I would say drop the word semi.
So, Eric, you're being the auto contrarian, the aircraft contrarian here.
Yes.
Why is this a Photoshop? Walk us through. What evidence do you see indicating this is a fakery?
Given the angle that it's taken from, anything that would be able to tow this at any kind of speed over about 2 kilometers an hour should be able to be seen underneath that, at least some kind of width or a side view of the vehicle, and I don't see anything there.
They were using a Ural motorcycle.
As I said, anything that could be able to tow it over, a 1939 BMW motorcycle will not, of which the Ural is a copy of.
Oh. So, Jeff, what is your stance on this tough issue here? It's an election
Photoshop
year,
or not
remember?
Photoshop?
No idea?
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
I say it's real. And on that note, we're done here. Good. Have a good night.
Bye.
No. Eric, next story. What have you found here?
So this is a recreational vehicle that can be towed behind modern, smaller vehicles.
Hold on just a second. Luke in the chat says the person who bought your Ranger is towing it.
Probably not.
Sorry.
That vehicle had trouble getting out of its own way, let alone put something behind it with a bent frame and rear suspension that really wasn't fully attached.
So you're driving.
It would just have been so fitting, two decommissioned vehicles together.
Yeah. So there's a certain segment of the population that likes to get away from it all. Sometimes it's families, the outdoor adventurer types, or people who just like to explore this great land. Having an RV or a pop-up trailer is nice to have so that you can pretty much set up shop wherever you want to. With the downsizing of America's car fleet, RV makers are starting to look at smaller and lighter solutions that can be towed behind these smaller cars and crossovers. The Cricket was designed by a former NASA engineer who, in his regular job, designed living modules for the International Space Station.
What?
What?
What he came up with here is a simple, lightweight, flexible outdoor living space that only weighs 1,300 pounds or just under 600 kilos for everyone else outside the United States. It sleeps 2 adults in comfort, and while it looks like it was a shanty thrown up in the Depression area Hoovertown, it apparently is aerodynamic and tows very well behind smaller vehicles such as Subaru Outback or some other similarly sized vehicle. So it's pretty cool. It is a little on the expensive side at just over $14,000, but given that it's made from lots of aluminum, that sort of explains the higher cost. But it's got a little pop up section so you can stand up in there and mount your bicycles and stuff. But very cool. Like it. It's a pretty interesting idea.
And stylish Pontiac Aztec styling cues.
It's almost good. It's almost got golf colors.
Almost.
So the claim to fame for this is that it's very light, Eric?
Very lightweight.
Okay.
Easily towed behind a modern vehicle without
front-wheel drive,
straining it. Yeah.
Okay. But $14,000.
Well, the thing is most of those things are financed over 5 to 10 years, so it's
Like
a couple hundred
purchase or something.
couple $100 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a lot for this segment? Because I'm not totally versed in
not.
the RV world.
I mean, it's more expensive than something else would be in that size, but there are the higher end stuff which would be close to that in price. I mean, $7,000 to $10,000 for a new kind of pop up isn't outrageous.
But if you went with something like from Airstream in that size,
Oh, Airstreams are well. First off, an Airstream Well, you might be able to tow like a really small one, but yeah, anything with Airstream new starts at like almost $30,000.
I'm just bitter because I was supposed to have an Airstream next weekend and it fell through.
Oh,
So let's talk bad about that.
Well, Large Mentally Disabled says in the chat room, "Holy crap, Nuggets, Batman, 14 grand." And I tend to agree with him.
Go shopping. Well, first off, go shopping for new RV stuff. It's not cheap. B, that's MSRP, and what you pay for it is probably something else. 3, you never buy anything RV new. You let someone else buy it new, and then you buy it 2 years later for at a 40% discount.
After their dog craps in it.
Yeah. I can clean up dog crap for a 40% discount. Okay.
Good point. Yeah.
I mean, in the RV world, can't you still get like 2010s new on the lot?
Probably. No,
Was
well, I
there a
mean, because the
recession
economy's
or
been so
something?
bad, I wouldn't doubt that.
Right.
You could.
They took a beating.
Yeah.
Well, it's the first thing nobody buys when the economy goes down, right?
Those and motorcycles.
Well, maybe you think sales would have gone up. People
I was
losing
gonna
their
say.
houses.
You get something to live in.
Primary residence.
A whole new generation of Okies. Moving along, Jeff, I understand you know, in the SUV world, the Ford Expedition is one of your favorites.
It is, but I prefer the Ford Expedition. Oh, snap. So there's an article on CarScoop, and they call it a Ford Explorer, which is hilarious because in their own screen grab, you can see a clear Expedition badge. But we'll forgive them because everyone makes mistakes.
Except
But the story
roundabout.com.
isn't about the SUV per se. It's about a man who built with his own 2 hands a kit car called an Exoset. And it took him a long time to build it. And for his first drive, he was approximately 0.3 miles from his house, gassing the car up at a Chevron station. As he's filling it up, an Expedition backs into it. And he freaks out. You would expect him to freak out. I wish you could see the rest of the video to see if he calmed down a little bit and got his composure. But the video cuts out after that. But I mean, how would you feel if you just hand built a car? This was your very first drive, shaking it down, testing it out, and someone in an SUV backs out. And the guy gets out of the car very apologetic. I didn't see it. The guy goes nuts. I mean, you could expect that reaction from some people. So
He didn't use
tough.
family-friendly language.
he did not. He did not.
Let's have a listen here.
Hey, you fucking cunt!
Oh,
jeez.
thanks.
Mark it then.
You might want to stop playing.
Can I get
But he seems to like slowly calm down, like for a split second at the very end, and then the video cuts out. And I really wish the tape kept rolling, because you can see the guy out of the SUV gets out. He's like, "Oh, he's like, I didn't see you," because that car is probably 3 feet tall.
but can I
Still, you shouldn't hit another car, but
can I get an over/under on the guy being on a cell phone while he was backing up?
oh, I wouldn't take that bet. It's even money.
Ben, thanks for sprinkling 11 herbs and swear words in this week's show. A little extra flavor. Appreciate it.
Willie in the chat room just made a good point that the little kids were walking up as this dude was.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
I saw that. I was laughing.
It's an older man with 2 young kids, maybe his grandchildren, probably going to get some ice cream at the local gas station, and treated to a George Carlin performance right in front of them.
Looks like that guy pulled
Well,
him off the
what's
local
funny
playground.
is even the old guys kind of looked like he was yelling at the driver of the expedition. Going, "What are you doing?"
Son of a bitch.
He's like, "No, not the Exo set."
Is this car named after the French ballistic missile?
That's a good question. I have no idea.
None.
None. So there you go. Very, language is
Stumped. I said stumped. You stumped me with that one.
Well,
Now I have to bing it.
You better bang it, and you better decide that I'm right. Because that's
The only result that came up was a French-built anti-ship missile.
Oh,
This various
burn.
can be launched surface vessels, submarines, helicopters, and fixed-wing aircraft. Yes. And occasionally backed into by expeditions.
Ford Exposition. All right, moving along. Speaking of Ford, we got this next story. The alluring aroma of a new car. It's an olfactory cocktail of volatile organic compounds and other aromatic carcinogens. But as time marches on, these pleasant odors start to fade. Stanky fast food wrappers, mildew in the carpet padding, and jockstrap from your gym bag start to take control, and the overall aroma becomes decidedly second-hand. But Ford is taking this issue seriously. After all, used car buyers deserve the same fragrance experiences new vehicle owners enjoy, right? Right. The company's operations in Spain have concocted a unique way of making pre-owned vehicles smell like their factory-fresh brethren. They've created a perfume of sorts, and it's playing a central part in a new marketing campaign for its certified used program. Clever. Check out the video, which, curiously, is in English.
I'm just scratching my head on this one, Greg. It seems like the 2 stories that you have done today you covered on Daily. So I'm just wondering, did you cut and paste your copy from Daily?
We didn't cover this one in Daily.
You did? It was good.
You're thinking of the RoAB promo,
Maybe that's what.
perhaps.
Yeah.
Thanks for giving it your full attention.
Okay.
Here, I'm glad somebody.
Hey, at least I clicked on the video to watch.
It counts!
It
Did you
counts as
click
a
on
view
the
for your
sponsor ads, Eric?
What sponsor ads?
Our generous.
Sponsors.
Passion
Pause for edit.
You mean Bridgestone?
for
for excellence.
Yeah.
No, you haven't noticed our new sponsor?
Dow Automotive.
No.
Hey, Bernice and Joy, which power chair took you all the way to the Grand Canyon? They're the Hoverhounds. They're going to McDonald's to get the 50-pack of nuggets.
Okay.
I know. Eric is like, why did I show
He's just
up?
dazed.
So yes, smell-o-vision for used cars. This is a little hard to believe. New car smell can be nice, but it's harmful for you, isn't it? All those chemicals and whatnot. They're not using wicker in the new cars these days, I'll tell you that. And that is a natural product.
Also, isn't this not new? Because haven't car washes been offering this for $5 extra for like 40 years?
That's what I was just thinking.
I can get cherry, vanilla, or new car.
Which new car actually just smells like bad. Whenever you get
Yeah.
the air fresheners, it's like, wow, this is searing my lungs.
It smells like Febrezed leather that you've been farting in for 2 hours.
That's pretty descriptive, but
Throw
I'll
a
just take
couple
your word
new
for it.
shower curtains in the back, and you're good to go.
For the vinyl cancer agents.
My
Ben, you
favorite.
used to get all these emails warning you about.
I was on some weird list for a while where, like, every week I'd get an email about the anti-new shower curtain campaign.
What is
'Cause
the
it was-
problem with new shower curtains, Ben? Walk us through the aroma profile.
Carcinogenic. I guess some people like to smell them, so they like to open up the package and go, but it's not a good idea. It's like it's a bad idea to do the same thing.
That's going to
with
be a
microwave
Dateline
popcorn.
show soon. It's
I
going to
know.
be teens.
They're going to
huffing.
strap like a little
car
explosive to
smell.
it. When they crash test it, it's going to burst into flames. Right?
That's right, Greg.
You've all done very well. So check out this video from Ford of Spain. Again, it's in English, and you can find it on roundaboutshow.com because that's where all of our great show notes are located. Right, Ben?
That's right, Craig.
Very good. Anyway, we're going to have to take a quick break because we have slogged through the news portion of today's show, but plenty more great stuff is coming up with Eric Tritko, the original recipe, rumblestrip.net,
Correct.
as well as Joffrey Glucker of Hooniverse.com. Got plenty more coming up. We're going to take a peek in the garage. We're going to get to a blind spot as well, so stick around. But I have got to thank our good friends at Patriot Financial. Nope,
Nope,
not this time.
not this time.
It is Amazon.com. Have you heard of Amazon before, Ben?
I may have just ordered Keurig cups and Tassimo discs from them. I may have. I'm not sure.
So you were paying $95 a pound for Keurig, is what you're telling me.
Now Ben is sad. Anyway, Amazon.com, they're a great sponsor of ours, and we're asking you, the next time you go to buy anything from Amazon, they've got everything from ebooks to real books, car parts, you name it, it's on there, video games, whatnot. You can find it on Amazon. We're asking you, we're begging you, the next time you go to purchase something from Amazon.com, we're asking you to first go to RoundAboutShow.com. When you go to our website, you will see on the right-hand sidebar of the page, at the top of the page, you will see a banner ad for Amazon. If you click on that, it'll take you to the Amazon storefront. If you do your shopping like you normally would, you check out, we get a little bit of credit for everything you buy. It's a great way to support us, your favorite automotive podcast. Am I right?
You are so right, Craig.
I know. Absolutely. So, again, we're asking you to go to roundaboutshow.com, click on the Amazon ad, do your shopping as you normally would, buy whatever it is you normally get,
But
and you'll help us
I
out.
probably, because I'm helping you out, you probably get all the great savings that I would normally get. They probably shove it off onto you, right?
No.
I get you mean if it's 23% off, I still get 23%
And you're
off?
still, yes, you do. And if it's Amazon Pre-May,
Yikes.
you get free 2-day shipping if you're a member of Pre-May.
Yes, but what about Amazon Prime?
Oh,
'Cause that's
yeah.
the one I have. That works too. Okay.
Yes. And just to highlight, in case you're not in the know, as it were, which is a great onion, the onion skit. Anyway, if you're not in the know,
Stay on target. Stay on
we're
target.
too close. It's away. Just a small exhaust port. If you're not in the know, we like to highlight a pick of the week. Every week we highlight, do an Amazon ad, just to show what the breadth of products they have. And this week we've got a 14-pack of colorful styluses. Styli? What are they, Ben?
I'm going to go with Style Eye.
Well, these are the things you
Are
can
they
use.
stylish style line?
Yes, they are.
In
Eric.
fact,
Thank
they
you for
are.
asking, because it's a bundle of 14 of them in multicolors. These are great for your touch-enabled devices, your iPads, your iPhones, your iPads, Kindle Fire, you name it. So, Ben, you've got a stylus that you do use with your iPad.
I do.
And your iPhone, you got that credit card thing you can sign off
You
on.
going to get one of these for your mom since she's addicted to
She's
draw
addicted to
free
draw
or whatever?
something.
Draw
I
something.
think, well, the one with your friends
Oh,
participate.
I actually am addicted to that game too. I need one of these.
Well, you can get 14 of these for just $16.99. You can have one.
Never be without.
You can have one for every day of the week plus another week.
And you
Think about it.
To be completely honest, it's a good deal. I bought mine at Micro Center here in town, and I think I paid $10. So for $7 more, you can have how many of these?
14. Ben?
14 times the fun.
That's a lot of fun.
Catherine just got one of these things, just
That's
like
like
the one, and she loves it for on her iPad.
You keep
And it even works
fingerprints
good.
on.
It even works good through the Zag cover on the front too.
Very good.
This is just one of the products you can get on Amazon. It's literally bursting like an overfilled fishing net. Just ruptured. There's so much great
Ruptured
stuff.
like your spleen.
Exactly. All the cod are getting away now, but
I don't
anyway,
have a sound effect for that.
roundaboutshow.com. Click the Amazon banner ad at the top of the page. Help us out, your favorite automotive podcast. We do thank you for your support. Moving
Ready at Amazon.
Ben giggling in the background. Anyway, moving along, it is time for our blind spot story of the week. When news topics go unnoticed, are underreported, or otherwise fall off the radar, they land in our blind spot. And this week, we are bringing you the worst products you can buy at an auto parts store, except Advance. Stories on Jalopnik, thought it was an interesting one, be worth debating. So the 10 worst products, the 10 worst items you can pick up at an auto parts store. And there are a lot of crap gadgets they sell there. Digital tire pressure gauges, I think, are pretty useless, or just random stickers and stuff.
I have a digital.
I'm an analog kind of guy, personally.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we're just going to run through these. You guys give me your thoughts on them, okay? Maybe, Eric, for instance, item number 10 on the Jalopnik post, fender badges. Maybe you're a fan of those. You're going to put them on the rear fender of your Saab under the window, right? Those stick-ons that we had that one time.
God, yes.
So,
Yeah, no.
Added badges are pretty lame. I mean, we got to be on that. That is a pretty lame choice, especially because there's so many horrendous choices out there that don't match anything that automaker would even produce. Like I can't even tell what car that is in the picture we're looking at, but it's clearly an R badge from a GTR, and it's definitely not a GTR.
it looks like a Chevy,
Looks like a truck.
CK
or
pickup.
a
Yeah.
minivan or a truck or something.
I've seen a plethora of fake portholes. I don't think I've ever seen a fake sunroof.
That is on the list
on
as
the
well.
Yes.
Wow.
What place
But the next one in the list is the steering wheel cover, and I've always been fascinated by people who have these because I've never had a desire to put one in my car. And I just and anytime I've driven a car, someone else's car that has had one, it just feels
Well, they're
gross.
always like filthy. They're like sponge rubber or whatever, and they're soaked with
And the
like
steering wheel
mayonnaise.
underneath is in like perfect shape.
Exactly.
Shoot your steering wheel and then wash your hands.
Better yet, wash your car.
If you look at number 5, chrome fittings, it's not that
Well,
the PT Cruiser isn't bad enough. It's what they've done to it, and my first reaction is, well, not I can't say. My second reaction is this someone who's frustrated they weren't in London in the '60s and weren't one of the mods and
You
had
can
wanted
say
a
it.
Vespa?
After the expedition video, I think you can say it.
No, I can't.
Yeah, we've already breached that code of conduct.
Let's just say that I hear every time I glance at this again, I hear La Cucaracha playing in the background.
Well, let's back up to number 8 on the list here. Aluminum tire valve caps. Now, this doesn't seem too bad to me. Maybe I haven't seen enough.
These don't bother me. These are fine.
Maybe if you get the dice or something, those are a little gaudy. But
Still,
like,
you know what?
these are knurled.
Number eight's kind of a cheesy lame pick, though. I got to be honest. Who cares about the tire caps? You can barely see them when the car's moving, and when it's not, you're not like, ooh, look at this guy's tire
Well,
caps.
you understand Ray Ward thinks that's the most evil thing that could possibly happen, so that's why it's here.
Why?
Because he's Ray Ward.
Oh, okay. See, I would think like a Calvin urinating on whatever sticker is worse
Yes,
than this.
I would agree with that.
100 times worse.
Yes. Next
1,000 times worse.
it's cubed worse. We're going to the-
Exponentially.
Yes. Number 7 on the list. Ugh.
Dangling
This should
testicles.
have been number 1 on the list for awfulness. Truck
These
nuts.
ones
Truck
pictured here are extra realistic.
They've
Folds and everything.
Yeah,
That's-
lots of
no
the
veins.
maintenance issue to keep that clean.
Oh God.
Anyway.
You know what though? You know what the good thing about truck nuts is? You know that you never, ever, ever, ever want to talk to the person that owns them.
Well, and you know what the weird. I think the reason why that they do this is because most of the people who have them
don't have them.
Well, I was going to say they haven't they haven't been able to see below their belt line in so long they forgot what they look like.
You know, I gotta say though, I saw them on one car once, and it was kind of funny in a slightly douchey way. It was on the back of an S4 wagon, and it was in a Targa Trophy race. So I mean, you take that for
So
what
it's
it
done
is.
as for comedies.
Yeah, exactly.
You're almost expecting it in like a lemons race or something, but
Well, Ben,
You
you've
just gave
come
me
up.
an idea for a theme.
Ben, you've come up with an alternative product.
I have
to the
for
truck nuts.
for our female fans.
Tell the audience.
Subaru Tribeca.
You ready for it? I don't know if I can. I don't know if I have
Just
to
go
bleep
ahead, Ben. It's a registered trademark.
Car vag. It's an applique.
It's truck nuts car
You
bed.
put it on the back. It's ultra realistic, just like this. The truck nuts here.
whole
like it.
new meaning to the term taco truck.
What else do we have? Eric, you mentioned the fake sunroof. This has got to be beyond stupid. Why? Why does this exist? At least the fender badge. Okay, it makes it stylish or something. This, I'm too embarrassed I didn't get the optional sunroof, so I'm going to get a giant sticker. Why?
That's just terrible.
Really, really bad.
That's. I wish we had Charles Barkley on this so he could just go, "That's terrible," because that's terrible. That is just terrible.
Terrible. This is just beyond me. Ben, why would you get a fake sunroof? Any idea?
No clue, Craig.
All
I
right.
want to buy one of those and put it on someone's door. Just
Yes.
to just to
Mark it, Ben.
That's a good idea. Eric, you mentioned chrome doodads, and this PT Cruiser is
yeah.
I'm speechless.
Yeah, like I said, go look at a Mods Vespa from the '60s in London. Then you look at this and you go like, oh wait a minute.
Yeah, but at least those didn't have Lambo doors.
Number 4 on the list, Z-Max, fuel system and oil treatments. Eric, do these work?
This one's actually pretty funny.
Is it?
I couldn't tell you, but they've made a crap ton of money selling it.
You haven't put it in the Mustang yet? Keep
No.
that supercharger. It's got linkite in it, which soaks into the metal.
Is that a fact?
Oh, no. Metal, the structure of the steel in your engine is actually like a sponge. Z-Max soaks into the pores for maximum protection. Yeah. Oh, my God. You go to, like, the lubricants aisle in auto parts there. There's all kinds of crap there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the motor flush. Well, if you change your oil and do the job right, you'll never need that. Sorry.
I always remember it from shop class in high school. A story where someone had taken their car to their. It was like a '70s Chrysler with the slant six. So, I mean, you could put no oil in that.
Indestructible.
Yeah, so you could put no oil in it. Well, apparently they had gone 50 or 60,000 miles for their first oil change, and they took the plug out. There was no oil draining. They're like, "Holy crap! Wow, this thing really does run with no oil." But they pulled the dipstick, and it showed that there was oil in it, although it was kind of funky looking.
Well, after 50,000 miles.
So they dropped the oil pan, and they turned around, and it was like a bread mold coming out, but Jello coming out. It was like a solid mass.
Now that's freaking.
Now,
See,
whether
that guy
that's-
needed Z-Max.
Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But that's one of those. I mean, we're talking 25 years ago in shop class, so whether it's true or not, who knows? But it was a funny story.
My auto shop teacher in high school also had a funny story. Some lady drove a Toyota Corolla, and she was trying to, keep up on the maintenance and everything. So when it came to the oil, she kept the engine full of oil, literally full up to the filler neck.
Yikes.
It
I don't know how the engine ran, but he said, yeah, she needed a new engine after that.
I was gonna say it's hydrolock.
Yeah, I don't understand how it would even run, but he said, yep, she had it filled to the top. All right, Z-Max, what's next on the list? Number 3. Flexible exhaust repair tube. Now, this doesn't seem like it would be that bad of a fix for an older car.
I've had to use this before, an old in my '76 F250.
And does it work well for what it is?
There is a short-term fix,
Okay.
yes.
So it's not something you keep on there for 5 years, 10 years.
Well, no, because you have to clamp the crap out of it, and it never holds, and then it rusts in about 3 months, especially
back to square one.
in northern climates where there's salt on the roads.
Yeah. Is that a problem for you, Jeff, down there in Southern California? Salt on the roads.
Tons of salt everywhere. It's very humid.
From all the margaritas.
Rust everywhere.
I'm sure it's carb approved too.
Yeah, that's the only real issue we have. No, this I am originally from the East Coast, so I do know about salty, rusty cars. But the last almost 10 years I've been out here, and I do get to see some of the best cars on the planet, and they're in good shape. So that's fun.
So nobody needs.
And they
flexible
don't
exhaust.
have flexible exhaust repair too.
Bull roar. Next on the list, wiper wings. Now I don't think I've ever seen these actually.
I've seen them.
I have not. Wiper wing. The wiper wings fad started out in the 80s under the presumption that adding little spoilers to your windshield wipers would give them downforce, pressing them to the glass.
This is really bad for number 2 on the list. Like, this shouldn't have made the list because we've already said like 2 or 3 that were better than this.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
The
Like,
stick-on sunroof.
The portholes alone should be,
Yeah.
because those are terrible. And
Terrible.
the other one was the Calvin pissing on whatever stickers, which are just atrocious, and it was one of the reasons Bill
You know what?
Watterson hates people.
They're actually a vinyl version of a hate crime. That's how bad they are.
I agree.
Number 1 on the list, and I've never
I've
seen
never
this one.
seen this
I've
either.
never seen this one. Fake brake disc. Brembo, made of plastic.
I have seen these, and they are atrocious. This is a good one for the list. These
Does it
are, yeah. I
deserve-
mean, you can get these. It's a little the Brembo caliper there is just it's literally a piece of plastic, and sometimes they even let you paint them in different colors. And the tube coming out that's not
Going to
brake ducting or any. Yeah, exactly. It just tucks behind, and that's it. And
It looks like a piece of shoestring.
yeah,
It's true.
or a zip tie or something.
Yeah,
It's not good.
I've never seen this one, and I'm glad, frankly. Nice cover for your drum brakes, though, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's the top 10 list. Chat room, what do you think? Did we miss anything? Did Jalopnik miss anything? Are we missing any automotive hate crimes here for garbage?
Why doesn't everyone send a email in to the show?
They should.
At roundaboutshow@gmail.com.
RoundaboutShow@gmail.com.
Yep, and let us know what other atrocious items you've seen at your local auto parts store.
But here's a couple that are coming in live.
Yes.
Live.
Mark Villas's baby on board signs. I hate those.
Definitely,
What
yeah.
are people more likely to avoid crashing into you just because you have a baby on board sign?
The Yosemite Sam back off. Lung flaps.
Oh, yes.
Classic 70s.
Oh,
Tar Nation. Yep.
Oh, sounds like Jeff just had a leisure stroke.
He fell over.
Those family stick figure signs.
Yes. Those are pretty awful.
Luke says, yeah. I saw, where was it? There was a guy that said he had one of those similar things, but it had a guy with a chainsaw chasing the stick figures. And I don't care about your stick figure family.
Yes.
Was that on
I
Facebook? Or?
I've seen, yeah, that's been going around Facebook the last few days. I love that. That's excellent.
Universe decals.
Large mentally disabled agrees. Calvin piss-on stickers. Yeah, those are terrible. Randy says guns and Confederate flags.
That's actually a good one,
Yeah.
especially because I've never really been in the South. I'm from Boston. I live in
Right.
California. So when I see Confederate flags and things, and all that, there's people from the South like, no, that's just the culture, and I'm like, no, that's just racist.
It's about heritage. We're preserving white power. I mean, heritage. Anyway, we've done our piece here, and it is time now to move in the garage.
The garage, you say?
Yeah. So, panelists.
Should we
what-
go outside and record something a little better?
with the Mustang?
Yeah.
Isn't it a 4-cylinder? You're putting that independent rear suspension in the 4-cylinder.
Hey, that's I know people who are doing that right now.
Yes.
Mr. Bowman.
That's right.
Yes.
How about this engine noise? Would that do it? Should we
Yep.
put that one in there?
Wow.
Was that a Veyron Super Sport?
Yeah. I can't tell. He likes cars. All right. So, Eric, why don't you start us off? 2013 Volkswagen
Yes.
Käfer.
Yes, the latest edition of the Beetle. Something.
Tell us about it.
I have very mixed opinions on the new Beetle. The styling of it is certainly much better than the old one, but it's still too much of a retro style play. Although it does, from certain angles, have much more of a Porsche 356 look to it. The one that I had was the 2.5 liter 5-cylinder with an automatic. Yeah, well, it's probably what most people will buy, so it kind of makes sense to drive what most people are going to buy.
5-cylinder engine is terrible. It's
don't-
terrible.
I don't mind it that much. The problem is that from idle to about 3,000 RPM, it had no torque, none, zero.
So how high?
About 3,000 RPM.
Wow.
So if you just try to drive it, I hate to use the word normally, but just in a not trying to have fun or whatever, you're just trying to drive it in a standard kind of way, it felt really sluggish. However, if you moved the gear selector from drive to S for sport, stress the sport, and then tried and hammered the throttle a little bit, the transmission had a more aggressive gearing, and then once you're over 3,000, and with that, it felt kind of sporty, or at least spunky anyway, so it wasn't too bad. The Fender audio system is actually pretty good in that.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually pretty impressed with that. I don't like their Volkswagen's setup because everything's
The gauge setup, or you're talking about the radio?
the radio
faceplate?
setup
Okay.
and all the controls in it, because stuff's buried in interesting sub menus, and you're like, and there's no easy way to go backwards if you're listening to a song or an audiobook. You can only go forward. You can't go backward.
So Germans are looking forward.
So, I mean, it's one of those things of if you're
Everyone
gonna,
was on vacation.
it's not a bad car. It's just not something that I'm interested in. It's very much you're buying it for a nostalgia retro look, or you like the style of it. So,
But
well built, got reasonable.
Don't you think that the 2.5 is better than you expected?
If you're hammering on it, it's great. It's fine. I mean, when I had it in the Jetta, everyone complains about it. And I thought it was fine, but I had it with a manual gearbox too. So I think that made all the difference. With the automatic, it wasn't that great. What's the Volkswagen I had with the DSG recently?
The Golf?
No,
Passat?
no. I get the Passat in 2 weeks. Probably the one that you have out in
Probably.
the parking lot. In fact, I'm almost positive it is. It's an SE. I'm pretty sure I'm getting.
For sadness?
Yeah, that good.
One step above depression.
Something turbo. It was turbo something or other. Oh, it was the GLI. It was the Jetta GLI.
Oh, the GLI is awesome.
Yeah, the GLI was great.
That's got the turbo engine.
Well, and it's got the DSG.
Yeah.
So that was actually pretty good.
Okay.
But yeah, Beetle,
Cough, I hate DSG. Cough.
You dislike dual clutch gearboxes?
I hate the DSG specifically.
Why?
Yep, and I get a lot of shit for this, but I'm sorry, mark that one too. In normal mode, it hunts right away to the highest gear for fuel purposes, and in sport, it's ultra erratic and aggressive, so you have to drive it in manual. And if I want to drive it in manual, I would have gotten the manual.
Yeah, I'll agree with you in that it stays. If you're in the sporty setting and you're just driving normal, kind of normally, it does want to stay in about a gear or two too low. Like you'd think you should be in like fourth or fifth, and it wants to stay in second. Sorry, the one thing that I also remember that drove me nuts
Truck nuts?
Batty.
was, and I noticed this in the Audi too, is that you can't move from neutral into drive by just moving it. You have to step on the brake to move it from neutral into drive.
Safety!
And when you're coming out of the car wash and there's someone, and they're stacking you in the car wash, there's someone right behind you. I mean, I swear that someone almost ran into the back of me at the car wash because of that. So that's...
All right.
Anyway.
So you overall, Eric, on the Beetle, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being okay, 5 being the best, how would you rate it?
Wait, 1 to 10 with
I'm
5
just
being the
kidding.
best?
1 being the worst, 10 being the best.
I'd
What
give it
does
like
it fall on the Tritco scale?
7.5.
7.5. Okay, so it's a C plus.
It's above 5.
Okay, that's better than average. Very good. All right, Mr. Glucker, you were in the Buick Verano.
Yeah, I just spent a week with the Verano, and you know what? I was actually pleasantly surprised with that car. It doesn't have a lot of power, but it makes good usage of that power. The transmission's a little erratic at times, and when the car's first warming up, it's a little jumpy. But then once it warms up, it smooths out, and then the seats were super comfortable.
Oh, those are awesome seats.
The
Those are
technology in the car was awesome. I love that it has Pandora, right to my account through my phone, which was fun. The weird thing though, it has this really nice touchscreen and then no navigation because I had the 1SL trim. That's just kind of weird.
It is.
Why give me that beautiful screen if you can't tell me where to go?
So they can charge you $1,500 for something that's out of date in 9 months?
Yeah, and when I first got in the car, I was like, "Wow, 27 grand, this is great." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's how it is, GM."
It's
But the
super
car
quiet.
looks good. The back seat's a joke. But I mean, that's what you get when you buy a compact sedan, anyway.
A Chevy
And
Cruze.
well, yeah, it's definitely nicer than a Chevy Cruze. Not that the Chevy Cruze is a bad car.
Oh,
but
actually,
Chevy,
it's a really good car.
right, but and this is clearly a premium step above that, but it's you can still tell it's a Chevy Cruze, and I was impressed for a sub $30,000 premium vehicle. It was very nice,
Yeah, it's very quiet
which
too.
is like shaking hands at the end of the date and say, "All right, I'll call you."
Or, no, I'll text you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I swapped it out. The Verano left, and an Audi A8L
I
came
say
in.
something with a 1 in front of the price tag showed
Yeah.
up.
Actually-
Ben, you can
actually,
just go
no,
ahead and
no,
cut
it
his
was
mic now.
92,000.
Cut him off. We're done.
Do you have the pop-up
Bastard.
Bang & Olufsen system in it?
If I don't, I'm gonna go smash it. No, I don't know. I've literally driven it 3 feet.
That's a yard, though. To be fair,
We should do oneyardreviews.com.
in the first foot, I was
Patent
very
pending. Patent pending.
patent pending. All right. Well, I was in something considerably less. I was in the middle of the road, being a mid-sized sedan. The 2012 Subaru Legacy, or the John Wayne Legacy, as I like to call it.
$38,500.
For what?
Legacy 3.6R
This one
Limited.
stickered out the door about $32,500.
Well, that's not too bad.
Didn't have every option. Had 2 options, including rubberized floor mats and like the audio electronics package. It's a nice car overall.
Oh, hey, who's that guy?
What now? No, Craig does not like Subaru.
The guy on the screen.
John Wayne Gacy?
I thought we'd fool people into thinking Craig actually looked like that as he talked.
It's from the Auto Biddle.
Otto Biddle. Those guys are crazy.
They're a bunch of nuts. Anyway, Subaru Legacy. It's a nice car. Is it the best in its class? No. Is it the worst in its class? No. It's the first Subaru that I've driven in a while that hasn't been a complete rattletrap turd. I mean, I've driven other ones that you just get in and they just, like the hatch rattles and it just feels oppressively cheap. This was nice. The dashboard was all hard plastic, but at least it had a nice texture to it. The door panels were soft to the touch, which is nice. You rest your elbow up there. It's comfortable. Seats were nice. It drove fine. Had the Subaru Flat 6, a 6-cylinder engine, 3.6 liters, 254 horsepower. It moved out pretty well.
What's the torque on that?
I don't remember the figure on the torque. The torques, Eric. I can see if it says on the
They
Monroney.
tend to be a little lacking in their torques.
Yeah. Well, and think about it. At 3.6 liters, they're getting about 254 horsepower out of it. That's not competitive with what other people are getting from similarly sized engines. And I mean, it's It's plenty fine for the car, but it's not that great. It's smooth running and it sounds pretty good.
Did it get more than 20 miles to the gallon?
Well, window sticker, funny you ask, Eric. 18 city, 25 highway, which is the same. 1825 is the same as a Mustang GT with the automatic transmission. That car's 412 horsepower, a V8. So, sorry,
About
Subaru.
the same weight, probably.
Yeah. Sorry, Subaru, not good enough. But also, one thing I hated about this thing, the transmission. Now, it's a 5-speed automatic. So, obviously, it's down
Cutting edge
several
2000
gears.
2000 cutting edge 2000 technology.
Exactly. That would have been a
I think
revolution.
I think we should applaud them for finally stepping up to the 5 speeds.
Oh,
Were they 4-speed for like the last 10 years?
Yeah. Well, you can get a CVT on the a 4-cylinder cars as well as a 6-speed
bravo.
manual with the turbo. But we got a nice 5-speed on this test car, and it's fine. It does a good enough job keeping the engine, in the power band. Not as well as it would if it had like a 7-speed, for instance. But the problem I had with the transmission is the shift quality, because sometimes you could catch it off guard, and it would literally, boom, it would just bang into gear, like somebody smacking the case with a sledgehammer. It was very abrupt. It would boom, boom. It happened several times while I was driving it. It's like it would get caught between upshifting and downshifting, and it didn't know what to do, so it would drop down, and it was just this hammering jolt that went through the car. So that's the Legacy, I guess. Have you guys driven it before?
Not on Subarus.
What about Mr. Glucker? Am I off base not
I'm
liking
a fan.
Subaru?
I'm a fan of some of the Subaru products because they appeal to a niche market, and that niche market loves them. You know, they're not going anywhere. And I think with the BRZ, they're adding a new segment. You know, there's a chance to grab a new demographic of people, and I think that's very smart of them to do that. I'm personally a fan of, you know, everybody loves the STI. It's fun to drive. I think even the turbocharged Forester is a blast off road. So I think they do well in their market, and they're not trying to be something they're not. Even though this BRZ is slightly different, it's not totally away from who they are, minus, you know, obviously the all-wheel drive system. So I'm a fan of what Subaru's doing. I just, you know, they could come into the 21st century anytime soon would be nice.
Well, exactly.
Too.
And throughout the recession, their sales were pretty much steady or growing, which is pretty incredible, especially considering that their products aren't that cutting edge or fuel efficient. You know,
Well, the thing though
but
is
they're
that
weird, they're quirky.
their market tends to be people who are a little more affluent for the price range of the cars. So they're probably people who could afford to buy stuff. They weren't so stretched in either with the lack of a job or lack of income in that time frame. So
They just don't care. They don't need a baby Benz or something like that.
yeah.
They're hippies.
Because I
They
mean,
live in
I'd
Boulder,
love to
Colorado.
own a brand new STI, but I'm not paying $40,000. Well, I can't afford to pay $40,000
Yeah, for
per car.
$40,000, I can think of 6 or 7 other cars I think I'd rather own.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Transmission was the big problem, though, for me. So Subaru, it's a nice car. It has a very roomy back seat, but that's about all I can say. It's outclassed by some vehicles.
Overall,
Nice.
up or down?
I give it a 6 overall. I give it a 7 overall. I mean, I like the quirkiness of the engine.
A solid C.
Exactly. Willie D, or Willied, whatever it is, he's complaining about his
past
06.
tense of Willie.
Yes, yes, it is. He's complaining about his 06 Explorer tranny being a piece of junk, but he says it's a 6-speed, so it's one gear up on the Subi. I know Ford had a huge number of problems with their 5-speed auto they were using in the Explorer and the Mustang. What is it, the 5R55 or something? It was just a horrible gearbox. But I digress. This isn't maintenance chat. Anyway, we're wrapping.
Clean your retainer out.
Anyway, we're wrapping things up, Ben. We got one more segment to go.
Gnarly.
We're
What's our next segment, Craig?
Tip of the week. It's right out of the
My
toaster
beans
oven.
are done. Excuse me?
I'm about to make some.
Oh.
Anyway, Eric, you have a tip of the week regarding warranties.
I do.
Shoot.
A lot of people, when they buy a new or newer vehicle, are deathly afraid of doing anything to their vehicle for fear of voiding their warranty. And we've discussed in previous shows that you can actually do several things and not void your warranty, but that's not what we're talking about today. Today's tip deals with when your car goes out of warranty. So if your car's got out of warranty, has more than 50 or 60, 70,000 miles on it, one thing you may want to consider doing...
Insurance fraud. Sorry.
Roundabout does
Sorry.
not advocate insurance fraud.
Especially if you've noticed that now that your car's a few miles on it, your fuel mileage has started to drop off, and with gas prices having spiked again, this is more relevant. You could look into having your ECU reflashed with a program that helps to increase your fuel economy through different fuel strategies. A lot of that stuff is very compromised from the OEM for emissions reasons. You have to do some things with how when your car starts and while it's running, as far as how
Who
rich
cares
your
about
fuel.
emissions, honestly?
Well, so if you don't live in the People's Republic of California, or where you have to have your car smogged every 4 months, or they send you to prison.
You know what? I happen to like feeling the air I breathe in my lungs.
The thing is
Makes me
that
feel
for the
alive.
most part, a
It's
lot
got
of
a lot of
times when you
body.
do these, it doesn't really change the emissions that much. So,
Well,
but
this is
anyways,
for power and economy, you're saying, right?
you could do it for better power. You could do it certainly for better fuel economy. It's going to cost you anywhere from $200 to $600 to have it done, but it's just something that you should and could consider once your car is out of warranty, so you don't have to worry about, if I do this and my car blows up, they're not going to warranty me. And besides, how many people actually use their warranties on a new car anyway? So
Well, it's for the
unless
little things. There's a rattle in
unless
the
you're
door.
driving a BMW, in which case it's in the shop every other week regardless. So
Yes, German cars. But a word of warning about flashing your car, it can cause problems down the road. I ran into that with my Focus. Had to replace the computer board on it, and had to drive it around without the aftermarket tune that works with the cylinder head and camshafts and everything for a couple weeks as I had to send it out to get the flasher reflashed because it wasn't matched. It's a long story. It wasn't matched to the new computer board, so they had to fix that. So can cause maintenance issues, but if you're only tweaking the tune, it's minor enough that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you're just some small fuel strategy changes. So, but I know people who get anywhere from like 5 to 8% better fuel economy.
Really?
Yeah. So
wow, I'm surprised they're that limited from the factory.
you can thank the
You think they...
EPA
Thanks, guys.
and CARB.
Damn you, carb.
Craig, they can't.
We're
see
on a
the
low carb diet. Anyway,
couldn't see the thumbs up on the podcast, in the audio podcast.
can they hear it though? Can they see it?
That's what I'm.
Okay.
No,
Anyway, speaking of warranties, I got this in the mail the other day. It says, "Dear Craig, the in-service date for your 2001 through 2003, they don't even know how old it is, Ford may have been over 38 months ago. Really? The 3-year factory warranty expired on a 10-year-old car? I never knew." I opened this letter. I couldn't even believe it. It's like, really? You bothered
that
sending me
freak
something?
you out? That's scary.
It's like a stalker. Anyway.
I actually got a similar kind of notice earlier this week as well, except mine looked more like a government document, like warning, call right now.
Was it delivered personally by
It
a
was-
uniformed member of the United States government?
It was. Does that mean it's official?
Yes.
The post office.
Yes. Mine says call immediately.
Yes.
This is a warranty crisis. Unbelievable.
Boom.
And
yeah,
on that note,
mine on the front of it said,
what did it say, Ben?
under penalty of law, you could be fined $7,000 or spend 5 years in jail if you tamper with this mail. So.
Which is the same for any mail.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
How convenient. Anyway, on that note, I think we've got a show, guys. We better wrap this baby up. So, Geoffrey von Glucker.
See?
Universe.info.
I would just like to take a moment, since this is the plug section, as dictated by the script here. I would like to just mention Hooniverse.com. Would love it if you'd come check out the website. Also, would like to mention that we have a new store with one product in it that's sold out, but we're getting new ones soon. We have Hooniverse decals. We're adding T-shirts. We're probably going to do license plate frames. So Hooniverse. And then we also added forums, if you haven't noticed that, on the website. So you can just hang out and talk about random crap all day long.
Have your attorneys contacted the people for all the people selling the Hoonigan shirts?
No, unfortunately not. They have a lot more money than us, so we'd lose anyway, even though we've been around longer.
Now, how do you spell Hooniverse? W-H-O?
That's actually one of those sites. That's a spam site that tells you're an amazing person in the United States and you need to send $600.
And click here to get your free iPad.
So it looks like you've got the Hooniverse sticker. You're promoting it, but it looks like it's on an older Mustang. I wonder where that came from.
That is courtesy of Mr. Zachary Bowman. That's on his project Angry Horse or Ugly Horse. Sorry.
Someone didn't use a straight edge or a level.
Oh, he didn't.
Well, it wouldn't have mattered after how much he had to drink, I'm sure.
That makes it slightly more Hooniverse-orific.
So Hooniverse.com, check it out. It's roundabout approved.
Hooniverse Hooniverse.
You guys need a jingle, like a 50s product jingle for Hooniverse.
Hooniverse, we're friggin' great. But the links to the store and the forums are in the sidebar, so please go have fun.
All right, thanks so much.
Sweet.
Eric Tritko.
Yes.
How you feeling, girl? I know I asked you at the top of the show, and I'm asking again because I want to make sure it hasn't gotten any worse.
Still doing okay.
Okay. Very good.
So Rumblestrip on Twitter, rumblestrip.net on the web, and one of these days I'll actually get a few of the reviews I've got 3/4 of the way done to post. Heading out next Tuesday morning, late morning, to Las Vegas to drive the FRS, so pretty excited about that.
Very nice. We will be on the Wednesday through Friday wave, so we may cross paths again like at Lexus. Thankfully, this one's going to be 3 days, though.
Yeah, you don't fly in one day, fly out the next.
Yeah. It's going to be rough.
Although it's way off the way off the strip. So.
What's it in Pahrump? It's about an hour drive
Well, no,
from.
that the place we're staying at, the Red Rock.
Oh
place.
yeah, the hotel's off the strip, but then
Yeah.
the track they're taking us to is way out in Pahrump.
Yeah, it's like a 65-mile drive. So.
Beautiful. It's
It's
so
supposed to be
weird.
a good drive. It's supposed to be a good drive out there. So.
I've been there before, and it's kind of weird. Maybe it's just because I'm from Michigan, where we have no hills or anything. But there's this really long straight road, and you get on it, and you can probably see freaking 20 miles. It seems like, and it's just you're in this valley, and it just goes on forever, and it's just bizarre not seeing trees or things blocking your view. This is weird, spooky. And Ben, isn't Art Bell?
Well, he was. Now I think he lives in the Philippines with our friend AM2.
He's waking up in the morning then.
Yes. I'm sure he tunes into us every week.
He would be a
He's
fool not
He's
to.
so secretive. He thinks the government's watching him, so he never logs into the chat room. So
The government.
government.
Are you sure he's not using an alias like Luigi B or Raging Pitbull?
It could be.
You never know. Anyway, thank you, Ben, for all your technical expertise getting this show done. and shit.
You're welcome.
I don't even know what to say.
Cut that out of the podcast while we paused for 5 minutes.
I don't want your job to be boring when you edit this, remember. Okay, anyway, you can catch Roundabout Live every Friday evening, starting at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time or 3:30 out on the West Coast if
Ish.
you're in Gluckertown.
Ish.
Gluckerville.
Well,
Is it
let's put it
Gluckerberg?
this way: we're generally always live.
At 6:30.
It's just not the real show.
It's the pre-show. It's bonus
It's
material.
the best part. Shh, don't tell no one. That's why.
Yes, and don't forget to check out the rest of the Autoline family of fine programs, including Autoline This Week, Autoline After Hours, and, of course, Autoline Daily. We're doing the social medias. If you want to get in touch, get involved, we're on Twitter, twitter.com/roundabout show. We're also doing the Facebook thing. It's facebook.com, predictably, /roundabout show. If you're having any trouble, just give a search-a-roo. Click-a-doo kangaroo. Give us a search-a-roo. You'll find us. If you never want to miss an action-packed episode, and frankly, who doesn't, because the show is just the cat's pajamas, Skip-a-doo 23 or whatever Ben was saying earlier.
Charlie Foxtrot.
Yes, if Herman that's another point. If Herman the German's in the chat, you're Charlie Foxtrot. Freaking hilarious.
Chortle.
Chortle. You can subscribe to Roundabout on services like iTunes or the soon-to-be defunct Zune Marketplace.
Say, does that place still exist?
Yeah. Or you can listen, on a service like Stitcher. Very convenient, very easy on your smartphone. Also, just a note about future shows. We will be off next week, so behave yourselves. But you'll still be able to listen to all your, favorite RoAB characters, as long as you're not a super fan and or the official RoAB historian Zachary Levine. We know, there are 126 previous episodes you can listen to. So what are you waiting for? If you haven't checked them out already, it's new to you. Plus, don't forget, we've got hilarious episodes of Hall versus Hall. Remember, that's Hall vs. Hall. They're not suing each other in court. Those are available as well on roundaboutshow.com. So go check it all out now.
And the latest episode of Hall versus Hall is...
They're the best
I
car to live
forget.
in. It's
There
the
we
best
go.
car to live in, Ben. Yeah. So check that out right now or as soon as I finish these next 3 sentences. Anyway, thanks to all of you out there listening. Please join us again next week as we circle the roundabout, and we'll talk to you then.
Buzz that shit.
Mr. Bowman, what time do we have on the clock, folks? 1 hour, 7 minutes, 44 seconds.
It's about a 70-minute show.
A little less than that, even. That certainly was a show.
I think that went really well, actually.
It's steamingly, that's still the plump and juicy.
All right.
Probably one of the more
Energetic.
flowiest.
Well, we were pushing. We gave the show an Imodium.
You were chugging along in that car going on tracks.
It was a good first run through. I'll give it that. You guys ready to record?
Yep.
The next, let's try after the Passat, the next 2 cars that I get.
Look at this. Look who's calling, everyone. Look who's calling.
Oh, Michelle Naranjo.
Better just
Naranjo.
slide up. Ahoy, hoy, Michelle.
Say, does your phone have a speakerphone function?
Michelle, you're going to be on speakerphone here.
First time calling the
I
show.
was on with you guys, and then I caught a bunch of kids on my barn roof.
On your barn roof? What?
Yeah, I had to go out and, go see a bunch of parents because, they can't be crawling on the roof of my barn.
That's dangerous.
It's not the fat one, is it?
doesn't have the energy to get up there.
He's not big enough to crawl yet, the gordito.
Michelle, did you go out there with the shotgun waving in the air? Get off my roof.
Sick your horse on
I
him.
need a pellet gun, right? Eric, can you
A pellet gun, really?
Should do what they do in Bahrain, shoot birdshot at him.
Oh, my goodness. Really, they were crawling on your...
Have fun?
Say again?
Did you guys have fun? Was it good?
Oh, you were listening, Michelle. It was great.
It was a laugh a minute.
Aside from not having you on, to be fair, I don't want to oversell this, but it was a pretty good show. We had Mr. Glucker on. He's a pro. And call ended.
Well,
There
we go. Well, thank you, Jeff.
Where did
Thanks,
you
guys.
go?
Always a pleasure.
Same here.
We got to do our chat rundown, though.
Say, where'd you get who's making those cool decals for you, if you don't mind telling us?
Camille has a guy on the East Coast doing it.
Cool.
Boston?
got a
Yeah,
guy.
they're cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with them so far, and we actually already sold out, so we got to make some more. And we're going to do different colors and stuff, too.
Great.
They're pretty awesome.
I'll see what I can do to try to send you guys some.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Michelle must have dropped her phone. There it goes.
And I actually have to bounce off because I got to run out for the evening.
All right.
Means
Thank
he's
you, man.
got real friends he's going to spend time with.
I actually have to go to the bathroom.
Well, wash your hands, Jeff Glucker. Thank you so much.
Take it easy,
All
guys.
right,
Do
see ya.
appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.
Michelle disappeared. I don't know where she went. But... Yeah. Something.
Well, before we run through the chat room, let's get a title here.
Yes,
I only wrote one suggestion down, so
What was the Ford car you guys went over about? Was it the Explorer?
Michelle's BlackBerry died. LOL. She texted me.
Her
It had typhoid.
Luigi B said Michelle went to get her pellet gun. You don't have to hit the kids with the pellets. You just aim at their feet, and dust clouds will pop up. Yeah.
Warning shots.
Yes, exactly. Over the bow. If they were ships, you'd be shooting over the bow.
So, title ideas. Episode title ideas. I've got Ford Exposition.
Ford Exposition. Okay. What else?
I also wrote down Ford Exposition.
Okay, good. That's another good one.
Was,
Yeah.
As I asked, was it an Explorer that was on?
Well, they had Explorer in the title. Like, look at this Ford Explorer back into the car, and it was an Expedition.
Oh, because I was gonna say exploratory Fordery, sort of like exploratory surgery, but since they were wrong, you don't want to be.
Large Mentally Disabled says
Truck
Truck
nuts.
Nuts Forever.
Hmm.
Yeah, maybe not.
The Away We Tow episode.
The Way
Luke
We
said.
Tow. That's not bad.
Wasn't that a Jackie Gleason something?
Was it?
And away we go. Yeah, who
Well,
said?
oh yeah, away we go. And away we go.
Yeah.
I think it might be. Is that right? Jackie Gleason? Sounds right. I think that's.
don't know.
Like that woman.
Right.
No, that-
so that was a show about domestic violence, wasn't it?
That's the honeymooners. That's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Should I close?
Come on, chat room. We need your help. We need a title.
Where is the rundown?
Ford Exposition.
Well, then you could do like a Lewis and Clark picture or something.
How about Sea Sucking Expedition, says Luigi B. I don't think we can get away with that one either. Although it would be funny.
Large mentally
Why
disabled.
don't we just call it Charlie
Charlie
Foxtrot?
Charlie Foxtrot. Only mentioned it at the very
At
end,
the end.
right? Or did we mention
No,
it
we
at the
think we
beginning?
talked about it.
Was
at
it
the
the
beginning.
pre-show, though?
No, you did it before we went on air.
The FBI is watching you episode.
Says Ragin Pitbull.
I think it's pronounced Ragin.
Like Raging Cajun, like
Well,
James
either that or
Carville.
Reagan. Like,
take your MiG fighter through the McDonald's drive-through.
what is it?
Take your MiG fighter through the McDonald's
Oh.
drive-through.
The FBI is watching you.
It does tie
What
in.
was the FBI reference from?
I don't know.
That's from the chat room. Oh, because you were talking. I think it was from you were talking about the people who were
Oh, the
down.
Craig's thing that he got in the mail.
No. When you're talking about the people who are now moved to Costa Rica or the Philippines or whatever in the chat room because they're afraid the government's watching them.
Yeah. The Philippines, yes. Our bell.
Thank you.
That was also at the end.
Tuning or
Off
tunneling
gassing plastics.
Yeah. The Flying Cheesebird episode.
Cheesebird?
I think a cheesebird sounds like this.
Get your fake sunroofs here.
Stick on sun.
Stick on sunroofs here.
Well, let's see.
Can we make that into a pun?
What if you did if you're buying, we're selling episode? Because all the junk on the top 10 list thing.
No, not enough of it. That'd be more like a
It wasn't
dealer dragon.
Sunroof in a can.
It's pretty good.
This episode doesn't have a title episode, says Willie.
What about the auto scrotum instead of truck?
Again, probably not.
Not so much. JDM and MD says interior outgassing. Careful, man. That's your mic.
Interior.
Wrinkled auto.
What?
Raging Pitbull says wrinkled auto. Beep.
Yeah, there you go. Buzz that bleep.
Buzz that bleep.
Well, there's enough. No, seriously, there's enough of it
true.
in there.
That's pretty true.
Yes,
It is,
I
yeah.
like that. Buzz that bleep. Dangling nuts. Wow.
What did he say?
Willie D says dangling nuts episode.
No.
Ben says
Dangling cracklins, even though we didn't mention
Cook the
cracklins in this episode.
the Cracklin still is what? This car has only been driven by men with beards, says Randy. It's so manly. Randy Manly. Quasi homonym.
Randy. Go ahead.
What was his original screen name? Randian or something?
Randifier.
Randify.
This episode has only been viewed by men with beards.
Too long.
Yeah.
Randifier. Random Felnarner. What
Sorry,
else?
wait, buzz that bleep because you
I
got
kind of like Buzz that bleep.
because
I
you
like
got
that.
you got to bleep Glucker about
Yeah.
7 times in there, so or probably me once or twice. So
Bullshit!
I'm not sure if you marked Ben during the top 10 list. Jeff kind of, I think, half said an F-bomb, and I didn't recall seeing you reach the mark.
Well, if he only half said it and I didn't notice it.
He may have kind of trailed off at the end, though.
Bull roar.
That F.
Well, I mean, so what if he said, Ben's like, let me put on this video. It's like Morse code, and it's going to be on that.
Hoona bleep, says Luke. That was Craig's line, 11 herbs and something. What did I say about 11 herbs? 11 herbs and swear words or something?
Oh, 11 herbs. Maybe that's kind of funny.
Yes. Or you could do the What the Gluck episode.
What the Gluck?
That's
there we
good.
go. There we go. I
That's
think we
good.
got it. I think that's it.
that's good.
So,
That's good.
11 herbs and swear
I
words.
think that's what it was.
Now what the Gluck?
I like what the Gluck.
What the Glucker?
But we'll let the chat room vote. Not that I'm gonna
Listen to them.
listen.
Ben is, well, Ben does what he wants.
Okay.
He killed 2 baby seals.
All right, chat room. Here's your choices: Ford Exposition, Buzz that bleep, Sunroof in a can, Mark that Ben, 11 herbs and swear words, and what the Gluck.
And while they vote, I'm going to
He's
step
got-
to the restroom.
We've got what the Gluck.
Shame on you, Ben.
11 herbs and swear words. 11 herbs and swear words. 11 herbs and swear. We're getting a lot of.
I think that's a...
I like what the Gluck though.
You'll go with what the Gluck. Go with what the Gluck. Executive decision. It's not a democracy. It's a.
I know.
It's a benevolent dictatorship.
benevolent-ish.
Oh, what the Gluck. Just do it, Ben.
That's a fine argument by Luigi B.
Benevolent my ass. Well. Well, you'll just have to download the podcast on Monday to find out what I actually used.
Or check the website.
Shut up. Quiet, you. We don't post until Monday anyway. So
Yeah, you wouldn't want anybody going to the website anyway.
no. You kidding? No one goes to that thing. Oh, I have a headache that could knock a
Philo.
moose over.